All right, Winchester Model 12 heavy duck, 12 gauge shotgun. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ethan with War Party Ops and Western Dynamics. Today we're going to be doing a quick rundown and a review of a Winchester Model 12 heavy duck shotgun. This shotgun here was produced from 1912 to 1964. The one that we're looking at today is from 1959. These shotguns are really cool because this one specifically as a heavy duck model is chambered in 12 gauge, which is sick. It was originally designed for waterfowl, obviously. The heavy duck models are able to accept 3-inch and 3-inch Magnum shells. The drawback to this shotgun though is in the modern era, in 2025 as it sits right now, you cannot use lead shot on waterfowl in the United States of America because in 1991 the federal government decided to be weird and implement a non-lead shot for waterfowl. Because of that, these guns kind of became obsolete. And it's kind of unfortunate. These guns can be used for clay pigeons or for something like upland game, whether that be pheasant, quail, or dove. The cool thing about this shotgun is it is a 5+1 capacity. It's not a 2+1 like a traditional hunting shotgun. It's also got what some people say is unsafe, but the firearm is unloaded. When you dry fire this firearm, like a traditional shotgun, it will go off, obviously, but when you rack the action to the rear, and you rack it forward, it has a slam fire capability. And we're gonna see if I can replicate that on camera here today by going ever so slowly. If I can do it without, you can hear that. So with the trigger depressed and the action forward, this gun will go off. These guns are pretty unique in the sense that they're machined from one piece of steel. And the manufacturing process for these guns, again, because they were produced from 1912 to 1964, with the cost of labor and the way machining has progressed, you don't really see a lot of shotguns like this. These guns were designed to be takedown models. John Moses Browning had designed this shotgun to where you could take this firearm apart via a detent right here. And how you do that is you want to have the hammer depressed internally. There's a detent right here. I'm going to see if I can get that on camera. There's a detent right here that you push. When you push that and you rotate it about 45 degrees, you rack the action back and then you rack it all the way forward. By racking it all the way forward, you expose these grooves here, this threading. You can rotate the shotgun 90 degrees. Once it's at 90 degrees, you pull straight out, if I can get it on camera here without screwing it up. There we go. The cool thing about this is it's designed to go in a bag like this. A lot of enthusiasts, what they like to do when they purchase these firearms, some people will Form 1 them and chop the barrels down to less than 18.5 inches. This barrel is a 30-inch barrel because it was designed for waterfowl. But you can kind of see in this barrel and the way that it's designed, these threadings. This is the male thread pitch. And then inside here, it's kind of hard to get on camera, but inside here there's female threads. And pretty much what's happening is when these two pieces go together at an angle and they rotate, they lock in together and it makes for a very strong design. So with these shotguns, pretty much the thing that makes it unique is that a lot of the actual strength is coming from this portion of the actual receiver. On modern day shotguns, the chamber is typically the support area, which is why you don't see a lot of takedown options when you're going to the local gun dealer to purchase a shotgun for waterfowl hunting. Manufacturers like Mossberg, Remington Arms, even Beretta, they do not make a pump action shotgun like this, and I think that somebody in the industry should attempt to bring this style back because it is really cool. The slam fire capabilities of this shotgun are very unique in and of themselves. A lot of people have this misconception that these shotguns are not legal to own in the United States of America, and that's just blatantly false. Anybody can acquire one of these shotguns. The firearms trade has moved away from not having a disconnector inside of the actual trigger mechanism for safety reasons. And there's a lot of question as to whether or not that is for hunters, shooters, or people in the military. I know the Geneva Convention most likely doesn't allow it, but that's why we call it the Geneva Suggestion, because we don't, we're not, somebody invades the United States of America, we whip this thing out. Granted, it's a little long, but, if somebody's parachuting into my backyard, I mean, it's all fair game in the United States. To put this gun back together, see if I can do it on camera without screwing this up. It is kind of tough because it is a 30-inch barrel. But pretty much, you want to line these threads up, rotate it, use the action release here, go all the way down, seat the tubular magazine and rotate it about 45 degrees. It'll lock in place. You take this detent, push it upward, the gun's back to work. And it slam fired there, but this shotgun, this Winchester Model 12 shotgun, is sporting American black walnut wood. The thing about this wood is it's very beautiful. You can kind of see in the grain, it looks almost like a tiger stripe. On most shotguns that are pump action shotguns in the United States of America that are being sold at local gun dealers, you don't really see this kind of quality craftsmanship, especially when it comes to the wood. On shotguns that have this style of tiger striping wood, it typically is like Turkish walnut, and you really see that on the more expensive Beretta or Benelli shotguns. So that is one other cool thing about this, is that it is a heavy stock, and it does have a nice butt pad on there to absorb the recoil. With that being said, it does have a crossbolt safety, which is kind of nice for your index finger. A lot of manufacturers aren't really doing that. They're either doing the Tang style safety, or the crossbolt safety has been moved to the rear of the trigger guard. I don't really know why they're doing that. I think it's just kind of to go away from their former competitors like Winchester, before Winchester moved everything to Japan. Traditional bluing, I mean, it's a beautiful firearm, and I think everybody should own one, or at least try to obtain one. It's pretty cool. The one downside to this firearm, obviously, is they're kind of hard to get, and it won't cycle certain shells. It is designed to use birdshot, obviously, because it is a full choke shotgun. However, certain loads, like I've used Fiocchi 7.5 shot shells, and for whatever reason, the ejector and extractor doesn't want to grab the rim of the casing. On Federal shells and Winchester shells, it does fine, but on stuff from like Fiocchi, it's kind of weird. The other thing too that I forgot to mention is with this shotgun, how you actually know it's fully put together is, I'm going to see if I can get this on camera. In the center of the shotgun right here, there are two arrows. When these two arrows line up, that means that the threading here is perfectly concentric, and you can seat the firearm and rotate the tubular magazine in order to lock it up to make it a functioning gun. These are both matching serial number parts. Some people claim that you can put other barrels on this, and I'm pretty sure you can, but I've never actually seen a Model 12 without a matching serial number part, and I would assume it's possible, but I would not necessarily trust it or test it, just because they are hard to come by on Gunbroker and throughout the United States of America. For what it's worth, I paid about $800 for this shotgun, and it's pretty fun. I think it's kind of cool. I do wish that it could be used for duck hunting or waterfowl, only because it is a beast. It's heavy. It absorbs recoil really well. If you were doing a snow geese hunt, if you were doing a grouse hunt, if you were doing a duck hunt, this would be a pretty serious firearm to use. Plus, it stood the test of time. This gun was built in 1959. I mean, by the time I'm dead, by the time the guy filming this video is dead, this will outlast us. It could be passed down to my children. And it's just something you don't see every day. It's a piece of American history. It's Americana that anybody can own in the United States of America because of the Second Amendment, which is guaranteed by our Creator and by our Bill of Rights. It's just an all-around fun gun. It's cool, it's sick, and I recommend people get out and try it. You know, the Slamfire stuff is pretty cool if you're not going to use an auto loader, but yeah, I mean, they're pretty sick. You can take these guns apart. The thing that's kind of wicked about taking them apart is there are a lot of screws involved in taking this gun apart, so I would recommend you take it to an actual gunsmith who went to a gunsmithing school and knows what they're doing. I have taken this gun apart. I'd rather not do it again, just because of all the screws involved in it. But again, these guns were made really well. The gentleman who designed it, John Moses Browning, was ahead of his time. And this design has stood the test of time. Pretty much every other manufacturer has designed their pump action shotguns around this shotgun, and this is the gun that pretty much forged waterfowl hunting, all pump action shotguns since 1912 all the way up to right now. With that being said, let's go ahead and shoot it.